All right, salud.
Salud. All right.
Estamos.
Estamos.
All right. So, anyways,
I think we left off with.
Honestly, we were recording for about 15 minutes, and we were both very upset that we lost.
We missed some very good content,
very quality
but we'll
stuff.
bring
So
it
we're
right
just
back.
going to pick up the pieces right now and try to record it. Basically, what I was saying is that this book is a testament to what it takes to become successful. And what I was saying is there's two things: desire and persistence. And as I was sharing my little newspaper story, right, it's all about whether you're a team member working for an insurance agent, or you are the agency owner, right? Or you are the real estate agency owner, or you are the real estate agent under the agency owner. Desire and persistence and grit will always, always, always get you to the top. And there was a quote in here that I was actually reading a couple times, and it said, if I can find it, it's under desire, it's under chapter 2. Just give me one sec. I've read this book a couple times. It's coming up here.
It's very important.
Yeah, so every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent success.
Right.
What does that mean to you?
Every failure brings with it the seed of equivalent
success. Exactly. So what does that mean to you in the universe and how success works?
In like simple terms for people that don't understand it, it's the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Which has been my Facebook slogan since high school.
Pretty much. So dude, yeah, I truly believe that. I think that yes, the harder you work, yes, you're going to have more activity, more stuff is just going to happen, and you're more likely that something like, statistically, the bigger your numbers are, the more calls.
Law of large numbers, which is in the insurance agency study book, right?
Exactly. That's just one thing.
Yeah.
And then also the belief that does happen. That was the big takeaway for me in that book.
Yes.
But the actual belief that your activity and your hard work is going to pay off is also another factor to it. It's another layer to just the number statistics, because like you said, I think you've said in the past, like, even if you're the worst salesperson and you're asking for life every single time, you're gonna get one.
Absolutely.
Right? But like also just the fact that like, I think your belief, like actual certainty in something, is such a powerful thing. Like there's a difference between dreaming and thinking, it would be nice to sell some policies, it'd be nice to sell life insurance, it'd be nice to help that family or whatever. But then there's a difference between, it's like, yo, dude, I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to mess this up, but I'm going to get one.
And that's
going to get one. You know
that's what I think that the viewers need to hear. Like, what takes you, because we always hear about the my back's not good right now, but what takes somebody from that visualization, the dream, versus being like, I will achieve these results? Like, what gets somebody to the level of that belief?
Over the fence? Because there is like that, like everybody, it's super easy for everyone to be like, I want a mansion.
Yeah.
I want a Lambo.
Yeah.
I want a mansion.
Like, it sounds good.
I want to be rich. Everybody wants to be rich. Yeah. Everybody.
Yeah.
We could probably all agree. Because what does money give you? Freedom.
Of course.
Unlocks
freedom
a lot
of time.
Yeah. It unlocks a lot of things in your life.
Yes.
But what is the difference between like, I think, or I want, or blah, 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 versus like, I know this is going to happen? That's a good question, dude. What is that? I think it's a repetition of activity.
Okay. And dive into that a little deeper. Like, what do you mean? So, like, for people that are like, what activity?
First and foremost, like, to the actual way the brain, let's just go back psychologically and how the brain actually works. The brain the subconscious mind, which dictates like 90% of your activity and your reactions and actions throughout the day. The subconscious mind simply cannot reject what you put into it. It can only accept what you put into it. So that's why it's super important. Watch what you're feeding your mind. Everybody says that. Don't watch the news. Like, don't, TikTok, stay off TikTok, whatever. The point is that the more repetition that you feed your mind with the right type of information and belief, like if you write down what you truly visualize seeing and happening in 5 years and say it in first person, like, I am going to have that house on the hill with the white Lamborghini parked outside with a view of the ocean, with French and or Spanish style doors and grapevines hanging and a beautiful wife and 2 kids and blah 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 blah, and in detail where it is, what street it's on, to the T. If you keep doing that over and over and over, and you keep feeding that to your subconscious mind, at a certain point, I think there is this moment that it becomes part of you. It becomes part of you, who you are in your brain. And to give that exact line, I don't know when that line happens, but that's truly how the brain works.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So yeah, that's my thought. Yeah.
I think that's great. And Jim Rohn says, right, you are who you surround yourself. Your 5 closest friends are a direct representation of you. And it's super funny. Like, one of my good buddies, his dad was one of the most successful real estate agents like ever. Like in PV, Palos Verdes, like SoCal, Los Angeles, he did over $1 billion in real estate.
Wow.
And it's funny, like Bob Proctor, who was, Bob Proctor read this book 50 times, as I stated, right? He was one of the original readers of The Secret. And he talks about, in that book, Change Your Paradigm, a conscious competent versus an unconscious competent. You remember that now? You've read that about 3 times.
Good,
you know what I'm talking about,
book.
Right? So my buddy's dad was actually an unconscious competent. And by that, what I mean is he was doing these things. So he actually, his dream was to live behind the gates in Palos Verdes. Nice. So I remember asking him, I was like, hey, dude, I remember asking Steve, I was like, Steve, like, what was your thing? He's like, number one rule, do not surround yourself with negative people. If you're in real estate, do not talk to somebody that's complaining about real estate. Talk to the top agents because they won't complain. I was like, interesting. That's what Bob Proctor says. That's a secret.
Complain about the real estate,
right?
Very interesting.
The market, like us, like our rate increases. We're not gonna complain. I
don't even care, dude.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying, right? Anyways, the other thing that I thought that was the funniest thing from Steve, he printed out his dream house in Palos Verdes.
Nice.
And he put it on a bulletin board.
Nice.
And he looked at it every day. And he visualized that. He didn't even know what he was doing. So he therefore was an unconscious competent, which is such a rare breed. That's such a rare breed, because most people, like, if you heard this, you haven't read anything, you don't know about the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, or Think and Grow Rich, The Secret, anything, you'd be thinking we're actually insane. Yeah. Literally, you'd be like, what? Like, you just get what breaks are given to you, you get. Right? They don't understand that there's actually a faculty in the human brain that we are conscious of. Like, for example, a deer only knows fear or calmness. Fear, I'm going to die, I'm going to dip, right? Because there's a mountain lion or something. Or I can eat in peace. There's 2 faculties.
That's insane. I didn't know that.
Right? So our faculty is also fight or flight.
Sure.
But also all of our thoughts in between. So that's what separates us from wildlife, right? Is like wildlife and dogs, they don't have those in-between faculties that think like, oh, is he mad? Right? They don't think like that. They just think hunger, sex, or whatever, right? The natural feelings that we also have. We just have a conscious brain.
That's crazy.
So we have the ability to control our future through our mind, right? Through the conscious faculty that God has gifted us, right? Through all those things, and through the suggestion, the auto-suggestion through the subconscious mind. And as we stated in the prior thing, hopefully you didn't say this again, but if you write down a lie enough times, you'll start to believe that lie.
That's
right. For example, like my team is screwing me over. Okay. Let's just say I wrote that down every year. I'd start to get real frantic on my team versus I have amazing people working for me and they're making all kinds of money for their family and my business. Yeah. Right. Like if you tell yourself that, you're going to have a different outlook on your team, whether you write it down and it's a lie or it's a truth.
So one thing I think is interesting about what you just said is that your words that you're saying or writing or thinking are going to lead obviously to your subconscious, to your actions, to your beliefs, to your habits, to your character, whatever. Right? Yeah, that's just how most things go in that pattern of the mind. But there's another layer to this with just like thinking that I believe you can speed up